everyone, you're welcome back to my channel. My name is Joy White. Thank you so much for stopping by. Please, if this is the first time you're checking on my channel, kindly hit on that subscribe button and turn on your notification bell so you get notified whenever I post a new video. Thank you. In today's video, we're going to be learning how to draft, cut and sew a pencil skirt. So the measurement we'll be needing, we need the full length of the skirt we're going to be working with. We need the waist circumference. We'll also be needing the hip measurement. Then also we'll be needing the waist to the hip measurement. And we'll be needing the waist to the knee measurement. So let's get started. So I have my box here already. Here is going to serve as the front and this is going to serve as the back block of this pattern. So how did I get this box? I divided my hip into two. The hip I'm working with is hip 44. Hip 44 divided by 2 give us what? 22. Then I added 2 inches to it to make it what? 24. So on my pattern here, I distributed it equally, 12 on this side and 12 inches on the other side. So let's get started. So I've already gone ahead to draw my line here. This line is going to serve as the starting line of our skirts. This is the starting line. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to be taking the measurements down. So the first measurement I'm going to be taking is the waist to the hip. This skirt is going to be a high waist skirt, so it depends on where you put your skirt, whether low or high. It all depends on your choice. So the waist to the hip I am working with is 10 inches. This is 10 inches. So I'll go ahead and do the same thing for the back as well. I'm going to, mind you, I'm going to be drafting the front and the back together. So this is 10 inches for the back. I'm going to connect it. So the next measurement I'm going to be taking is the waist to the knee. So the waist to the knee I am working with is 22 inches. So I'll come over here and put down the 22 inches. Also at the back, I'll do the same thing, 22 inches. So at this point, I am going to connect it. So now we're going to be taking, I've already taken the full length of the skirt I am working with. So this is the full length of the skirt. The full length of this skirt is 30 inches. So this is what we have. So now I'm going to label it. So I've labeled it. This is the waist, this is the hip, this is the knee line, and this is the full length of our skirt. So now we're going to be imputing our measurement. So the first thing I'm going to do is to what? Take the waist measurement. So the waist I am working with is waist 34. So I'm going to be dividing 34 into 4. 34 divided by 4 will give me 8.5. So this is my 8.5. I will come over here. I'm working with the front. I'll put down the 8.5. And this skirt is going to be having a dart of 1 inch. I'll be adding 1 inch to it. So the next measurement I am going to be taking is the hip measurement. So the hip I am working with is hip 44. So 44 divided by 4 will give us 11 inches. So this is 11 inches. Now I am going to be connecting it to the waistline. So after connecting it, I'm going to come over to the back. This is our center back, our CB. This is our side back. This is our center front, our side front. So at this point, I'm going to be taking the waist measurement for the back. But before I take the waist measurement, I am going to come in with what? I'm going to be coming in with 0.5 on this center back. So after coming in with 0.5, I am going to take the waist measurement. So the waist is 8.5. This is 8.5. I will be adding 1 inch for that. So this is 1 inch for that. So now I'm going to be connecting from this 0.5. We have contoured the waist. From this 0.5, I will connect it. This is, remember, this is the center back. I'm going to be connecting it this way. So I'm going to be taking the hip measurement. Remember I said the hip I'm working with is hip 44. So 44 divided by 4 will give us 11 inches. This is 11 inches. So I'm going to be connecting what we have here from the waist to the hip line. So after connecting that, the next thing I'm going to do is to come over to the hip line. On the hip line, what we have here is 11 inches. So to get the knee line, I'm going to be deducting 2 inches from this 11 inches. And when I do that, I'm going to be having 9 inches. So for the front, I will come over to the knee line and put down my 9 inches. Then I'm going to be connecting it from the hip line to the what? Knee line. You can as well remove 1.5, 1.75, 1 inch. It all depends on how fitted or how free you want your pencil skirts to be. So this is for the front. So we'll come over to the back. Remember what we removed was what? 2 inches. So I'm not going to just put down my 9 inches like so. No. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to measure what I have here. Remember what we have here is 12 inches. So we're going to be what? Distributing it on both sides. So this is what? The 9 inches for the hip. I'm not going to put it down this way. We're going to measure what we have left here. So what I have left here is what? 3 inches. When you divide 3 inches into 2, you'll be left with what? 1.5. So I will come over to this side and place my 1.5 here. Then I come over to the other side and put down what? My 1.5. So now what we have left is what? Our 9 inches. So this is my 9 inches. This is my 9 inches for the back. So now I'm going to be connecting it. When you do this to your skirt, it will be what? Well contoured. You will see that shape, that bomb illusion at the back. So at this point, we'll come over to the hem of this skirt. What we have here is what? 9 inches. I will just come over here and put down what? My 9 inches. And I'm going to connect it upward. So this is it. That is for the front. So for the back, I'm going to come over to the back. Remember what we deducted was 1.5. So I'll just put down my 1.5. And take down what? My 9 inches. This is my 9 inches. Yes. So now we are going to be connecting it. So this is it. So the next thing we are going to do is to take the dart measurement. So in getting the dart, you are going to be using your bust span. So the bust span I'm working with is 8 inches. So 8 divided by 2 will give us 4 inches. So I will come over to the front and put down those 4 inches. So for the front, what I will be taking for the dart will be 6 inches. 6 inches for the front dart. So I'm trying to get the exact point. So this is it. I will connect it. So for the back dart, I'm still going to be taking what? The 4 inches. So this is it. And the length of my dart for the back is going to be 6.5. 6.5. This is 6.5. This is it. So I will go ahead and connect it. So at this point, the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to be coming down with what? 0.5. You can as well come down with 1 inch for the front. So after coming down with 1 inch, I am going to close my dart this way, and I am going to be connecting it, or let me just come down with 0.75. Like I said, you can come down with 1 inch. It doesn't affect anything. So after connecting it, this is what we have. So now at this point, I am going to be cutting it out. So one thing I would still want to add is that if you want to have your band, you can as well include your band measurements on your pattern, but I didn't include it on this pattern. I deducted the band measurement. But if you want to have your band included on your pattern, you just go ahead and close your dart and mark out what your band measurement on the same pattern and cut it out. But for this particular pencil skirt, I didn't include the band on it. I'm going to be cutting the band separately. There are different ways of cutting bands, so I'm going to be cutting the band separately to attach to this skirt. So now we're going to be cutting our skirt pattern out. Now I've cut out the pattern for our skirt. So in order for you not to get confused, I will advise you label your pattern. This is our center back, this is our side back, so that when you are cutting and joining, you don't get confused. Side, front, center, front. So the next thing we're going to do is to place our pattern on our fabric. So I've gone ahead to place my pattern on my fabric, and this is what we have here. This is for the front and this is for the back. So on the center front, I placed my fabric on fold. So you're going to place your fabric on fold while cutting the center front. So what I did next is I added 1/2 inch at the top, and at the hem I added 1.5 at the hem. So on the side I went ahead to add 1.25. So that's what I did. For the back, I did the same thing. This is the side back. The seam allowance here is still the same thing as the front. At the top, I added 1/2 inch for joining, and at the center back, I went ahead to add 1 inch for the zipper allowance. 1 inch. This is what we have here. 1 inch. I added at the hem. I added 1.5 inch. So the next thing I'm going to do is to cut it out. So after cutting it out, this is what we have. I've cut out both the lining as well for this skirt. I've cut out the lining, and the lining is shorter than the fabric itself. So the next thing we are going to do at this point is to go over. Okay, before that, I've also notched out the points for the dart. So you're going to be notching your dart points here. So I've done that already. So the next thing I'm going to do is to open up my fabric. I'm going to be using 1/2 inch to join the hem, and I'll do the same thing for the back. And for the dart, I'm going to be joining the dart. After joining the hem, I also went ahead to join the dart. Remember what we added was 1 inch, so I joined on it 1/2 inch on both sides. So I have done that for the front, and for the back, this is the back. I have done the same thing. I joined the hem and I have joined the dart. I also went ahead to join the center back. At this point, what we are going to be doing, I'm going to be placing both front and back together, and we're going to be taking our measurements. So what I will do next now is to pin it down. I'll pin it down before I take the measurements. So I've pinned both the front and the back together. So the next thing we are going to do at this point is to take the measurements. So the waist I am working with is waist 34. So that will give us 8.5. After dividing it into 4, 8.5. I will come over to this side and mark the other 8.5, which is 17 inches. 17 inches. So for the hip, the waist to the hip is 10 inches. This is where we have our 10 inches. So on this point, I am going to be taking the hip measurement. So the hip I am working with is hip 44. So see the way I'm stretching it out. I'm going to be marking the 44. Come over to this side. I'll mark my 22 here. So now on the hem, Remember what we deducted was 2 inches. So what I'll be taking on the hem is 9 inches. 9 times 2, that is 18. So our waist to our knee that we took was 22 inches. This is where we have our 22. I'm still going to be putting down the 9 inches on that point. So I'm going to connect it with my ruler. So at this point, you can decide to use your free hand to get a perfect curve, but I'll just go ahead and use my ruler to connect it. Like I said, you can decide to use your hand to connect it. So this is what we have. So now I'll go over to my machine. I'm going to be joining it just as I've marked it. I'm going to join it. Then after joining it, I am going to be fixing the zipper before we fix the band. So after joining the side, this is what we have. This is what our skirt looks like. This is how it's going to look like after you join yours. You can even see the shape coming out from the hip to the knee. So this is what it looks like. So the next thing we're going to do is to fix the band. So I'm going to be attaching the band. I've cut out the band and I've pressed on it. So this is just 1.5. So I'm fixing a band of 1.5. So here is what I am going to do. So I'm going to be fixing the band from the inside of this skirt. So this is what I'm going to do. I'll go ahead and pin it down till I get to the end. And I'm going to be using 1/2 inch to sew on it. And after sewing on it, I'm going to flip it to the other side and sew on the top of it. And when I'm done, I'm going to show you what our skirt looks like. So here's the final view of what our pencil skirt looks like. Yes, it's a 3/4 pencil skirt. I love this skirt. I love the fitting I'm getting from this skirt. The fitting is top notch. Look at the back. Because it is well contoured, you can see how smooth the back is, and that's because it was well contoured. So this is the front view of our skirt. This is what the skirt looks like. So I want to point out something. If you want it to be more fitted on the knee area, that means you have to deduct 2.5 from your hip measurements to have a more fitted knee, but I bet you it will be very tight. So this is what our skirt looks like. I love what I am seeing. So if you find this tutorial helpful, please don't forget to hit on that subscribe button and turn on your notification bell so you get notified whenever I post a new video. And please don't forget to like and share this video. Make your comments. Till our next tutorial again, we'll be doing something else. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.